How to force people to value your time. Machiavelli's law of respect. They smile when they ask for your time. They say please. They promise it'll be quick. Just 5 minutes. Just this once. And you give it to them because you were taught that good people share. Good people help. Good people sacrifice. But Machiavelli would look at you and see a man bleeding to death one cut at a time. Every yes you give to their requests is a no you give to your own life. Every minute you spend fixing their problems is a minute stolen from building your empire. You think being available makes you valuable? It doesn't. It makes you a tool. Tools get used until they break, then thrown away. The world has trained you to believe that time is endless, that there's always more, that being generous with it shows character. This is the first lie they feed you. Time is finite. Your time is finite. When it's gone forever. And right now, you're giving it away to people who would never give theirs to you. This isn't about being cruel. This is about being strategic. This is about understanding that respect isn't given freely. It's forced. And the man who doesn't force respect for his time will watch his life disappear into other people's priorities. Machiavelli knew something most men never learn. The world only values what it cannot easily take. Make your time easy to take, and it becomes worthless. Make it difficult to access, and suddenly everyone treats it like gold. You're about to learn how to become the man whose time is so valuable, so protected, so scarce, that people prepare before they even think about asking for it. You're going to stop being the emergency contact for everyone else's poor planning. You're going to stop being the solution to problems you didn't create. This isn't theory. This is war. And you're going to start winning. Chapter 1. Why your time is your kingdom. Most men treat their time like pocket change. They scatter it everywhere, give it to anyone who asks, spend it on whatever seems urgent in the moment. Then they wonder why they feel poor, why they feel empty, why their own dreams stay dreams. Machiavelli would call this the mindset of a peasant. Peasants don't understand value. They don't understand scarcity. They don't understand that what you give away freely becomes worthless in the eyes of those who receive it. Your time isn't pocket change. It's the only currency that matters. You can make more money. You can build new relationships. You can learn new skills, but you can't make more time. Every second that passes is gone forever. Every minute you spend on someone else's agenda is a minute you can't spend on your own. Start thinking like a banker. When someone asks for your time, they're asking for a loan from your life account. What are they offering as collateral? What's the interest rate? What's the return on investment? Most people offer nothing. They expect you to loan them pieces of your life for free, with no guarantee of return. The powerful understand this. They protect their time like a fortress protects its treasure. They make access to their schedule a privilege, not a right. They understand that being difficult to reach makes them more valuable, not less. You need to start seeing every request for your time as what it really is. Someone trying to spend your life currency on their problems. And just like any smart investor, you need to ask the hard question, is this worth it? The moment you start treating your time as sacred, as finite, as the raw material of your legacy, everything changes. You stop saying yes to things that don't matter. You stop being available for every small crisis. You stop being the man everyone calls when they need something, and you start being the man people think twice before bothering. This isn't selfishness. This is self-preservation. This is understanding that your time is the only thing standing between you and a life of regret. Chapter 2. Building your fortress. Right now, your default position is probably available. Your phone is on. Your door is open. Your calendar has gaps that others see as opportunities to fill with their needs. This is the position of the weak. This is how servants live. Machiavelli would say you need to reverse this completely. Your default position should be unavailable. Not busy, unavailable. Busy suggests you might have time if something important enough comes up. Unavailable suggests your time is already allocated to matters of consequence. This starts with your physical space. If you work from an office, your door should be closed more often than it's open. If you work from home, you need boundaries that others can see and feel. You need a space that signals focus, purpose, protection. Your calendar is your battle plan. It shouldn't be an empty field waiting for others to plant their flags. It should be a fortress with limited entry points. Block out time for your most important work. Block out time for thinking. Block out time for planning. These aren't suggestions. These are appointments with your own success. When someone asks for a meeting, don't look for the first available slot. Look for the slot that works best for you. Make them wait. Make them adjust. Make them understand that access to you follows your schedule, not theirs. Control your communication channels. Maybe you only check email twice a day. Maybe you only take calls during certain hours. Maybe you have an assistant who filters requests. The specific method doesn't matter. What matters is that you control when and how people can reach you. Start saying, "I'm not available then," instead of, "I'm busy then." The difference is subtle, but powerful. Busy suggests you might be able to move things around. Not available suggests this time belongs to something more important than their request. The world will test your fortress. People will try to guilt you into opening your gates. They'll call it urgent. They'll say it'll only take a minute. They'll make it about helping them, about being a good person, about being part of the team. Hold your position. Every time you defend your boundaries, you make them stronger. Every time you compromise them, you signal that they weren't real boundaries at all. Chapter 3. Make them wait. Speed is the enemy of value. The man who responds to every message immediately isn't seen as helpful. He's seen as having nothing better to do. The man who takes time to respond is seen as important, as someone whose attention is in demand. Machiavelli understood that timing was everything. The right action at the wrong time fails. The right words delivered too quickly lose their weight. The right response given too eagerly suggests desperation. When someone sends you a request, resist the urge to reply immediately. Let it sit. Let them wonder. Let them start to think about whether their request was really worth your attention. The pause creates value. The delay creates importance. This doesn't mean being slow for the sake of being slow. This means being deliberate. This means considering whether the request deserves an immediate response or whether it can wait. Most things can wait. Most urgent requests are just other people's poor planning becoming your emergency. When you do respond, be concise. Be decisive. Be final. Your delayed response should carry more weight than 10 immediate ones. You're not apologizing for the delay. You're not explaining why it took time. You're simply giving your considered response. The powerful understand that their attention is a gift, not a service. They don't chase conversations. They don't rush to fill every silence. They understand that making others wait is not cruelty. It's positioning. Watch how this changes the dynamic. People start to plan more carefully before contacting you. They start to think twice about whether something really needs your input. They start to respect your time because you've shown them it has weight. The weak are slaves to the notification. The strong control the tempo of their own engagement. Which one are you? Chapter 4. Create artificial scarcity. The hottest club in town isn't hot because it's the biggest. It's hot because it's the hardest to get into. The longer the line, the tougher the doorman, the more people want to be inside. You need to become that club. Machiavelli knew that people desire what they cannot easily have. Make yourself easily available, and you become commonplace. Make access to you scarce, and suddenly everyone wants that access. This starts with saying no. Not maybe. Not let me think about it. Just no. No to meetings that don't serve your goals. No to social events that drain your energy. No to projects that don't move you forward. Every no you give to something unimportant is a yes you give to something that matters. Create rules for engagement. Maybe you only take meetings on certain days. Maybe you only discuss business during specific hours. Maybe you require people to send an agenda before you'll agree to meet. These rules aren't arbitrary. They're filters that separate the serious from the casual. The beauty of scarcity is that it makes people value what they can't have. When your time becomes difficult to access, people start to appreciate it more. They come prepared. They respect your boundaries. They understand that getting your attention is a privilege. People will complain at first. They'll say you've changed. They'll accuse you of being difficult. Good. That means the system is working. The people who complain are usually the ones who are taking advantage of your availability. The ones who matter will adapt. They'll learn to work within your system. They'll respect your boundaries because they understand that accessing valuable people requires effort. You're not being mean. You're not being antisocial. You're being selective. You're protecting your most valuable resource from being scattered across 100 meaningless interactions. The velvet rope isn't about keeping everyone out. It's about making sure that the people who get in really belong there. Chapter 5. Make your time cost something. Free things have no value. This is basic human psychology. When something costs nothing, people treat it like it's worth nothing. Your time right now is probably free to most people. That's why they waste it. Machiavelli would tell you to put a price on access to you. Not necessarily money, though that works too. The price could be preparation. The price could be reciprocity. The price could be proving they've tried to solve the problem themselves first. Before you agree to help someone, make them do homework. Make them research the issue. Make them try 3 solutions on their own. Make them come to you with specific questions, not vague requests for you to fix their problems. Before you agree to a meeting, make them send an agenda. Make them define what success looks like. Make them explain what they need from you and why it requires your time specifically. Most people won't do this work. Good. You've just filtered out the time wasters. For those who can charge for their time directly, do it. Consultation fees, hourly rates, project minimums, these aren't just income streams, they're respect generators. When people pay for your time, they treat it differently. They come prepared. They focus. They don't waste minutes on small talk. But even if you can't charge money, you can charge effort. You can charge preparation. You can charge reciprocity. Someone wants your expertise. They need to offer something in return. Someone wants your time. They need to prove it's worth your investment. The moment you start requiring investment from others before they can access you, everything changes. The casual requests disappear. The lazy people move on to easier targets. The serious people step up and meet your requirements. You're not being greedy. You're being strategic. You're ensuring that your time goes to people and projects that deserve it. Chapter 6. Use social proof. Humans are pack animals. They look to others for cues about how to behave, what to value, who to respect. You can use this. You can create an environment where Respecting your time becomes the obvious choice. Machiavelli understood that perception shapes reality. If people see that others treat you as important, they'll treat you as important too. If they see that your time is in demand, they'll want access to it. Start dropping strategic hints about your schedule. I need to leave at 3 for a call with the regional director. My calendar is packed this week, but I might be able to squeeze something in Friday morning. You're not bragging. You're painting a picture of someone whose time is valued. Associate with people who understand the value of time. Be seen with busy, successful, important people. When others see that these people make time for you, they'll assume you must be worth making time for. Use your environment to send signals. A clean, organized workspace suggests a mind that doesn't have time for clutter. A closed door suggests focused work. An assistant or gatekeeper suggests someone important enough to need protection from interruptions. When you're in meetings, be the one who sets the time limits. I have 15 minutes for this. Let's keep this to 30 minutes maximum. You're not being rude, you're being respectful of everyone's time, starting with your own. Let people overhear you declining requests. I wish I could help, but that's not something I can fit into my schedule right now. Others will note that you say no to things, which makes your yes more valuable. The goal is to create a reputation where people naturally assume your time is precious. When that assumption becomes widespread, it becomes self-fulfilling. Chapter 7. The unpredictable withdrawal. Consistency is predictable. Predictable is manageable. Manageable is weak. Sometimes you need to be unpredictable. Sometimes you need to shock people into remembering that your participation is a choice, not a guarantee. Machiavelli knew that fear was more reliable than love. People might take your kindness for granted, but they'll never forget the time you walked away without warning. This is the nuclear option. Use it sparingly, but use it. You've been attending a weekly meeting for months. 1 week, you simply don't show up. When asked, you say, "I reassessed the value of that meeting and decided my time was better spent elsewhere." The shock will be immediate. Everyone will realize that your presence wasn't guaranteed. They'll start to question whether their own participation matters. They'll start to wonder what they need to do to keep you engaged. You might agree to help with a project, then withdraw if it's not being run properly. The direction this is heading isn't a good use of my time. You're not being difficult. You're being honest about your standards. This strategy requires courage. People will call you unreliable. They'll say you're difficult to work with. Let them. The people who matter will understand that you're a man of principle, someone who won't waste time on mediocrity. The unpredictable withdrawal sends a message that can't be ignored. Your time isn't something to be taken for granted. Your participation isn't automatic. If people want you involved, they need to maintain standards worthy of your involvement. Use this weapon carefully, but when you use it completely. No apologies, no explanations. Just the clear message that your time is too valuable to waste on anything less than excellence. Chapter 8. Control every conversation. You don't need permission to leave a conversation. You don't need to wait for the other person to release you. You decide when you're done. You decide when the interaction has served its purpose. You control the exit. Machiavelli would never be trapped in a conversation that wasn't serving him. He would have multiple strategies for ending interactions on his terms, at his timing, without creating unnecessary conflict. The hard stop is the simplest method. I have a hard stop at 10:30. You announce it at the beginning, and when the time comes, you leave. No negotiations, no extensions. You've given them fair warning. The redirect is more subtle. This is interesting. Send me an email with the key points, and I'll review it when I have time. You're not dismissing them rudely, but you're ending the immediate drain on your time. The physical exit is the most powerful. You simply stand up, extend your hand, and say, "Good talking with you." Your body language makes it clear the conversation is over. Most people will automatically respond to this signal. Practice these exits until they feel natural. The goal isn't to be rude, but to be decisive. You're communicating that you value your time and expect others to respect that value. There will be a moment of awkwardness. That's normal. That's the sound of you reclaiming control of your time. Most people will respect your boundary once they understand it exists. The man who can't end a conversation can't control his day. The man who can't control his day can't control his life. Which man do you want to be? This isn't about being mean. This isn't about being antisocial. This is about understanding that your time is finite, precious, and under constant attack from people who don't value it the way you should. Machiavelli taught that it's better to be feared than loved, if you can't be both. When it comes to your time, it's better to be respected than liked. The people who truly matter will respect your boundaries. The people who don't respect your boundaries don't truly matter. You'll lose some people along the way. The energy vampires, the time wasters, the people who only valued you for what you could give them. Good. These people were never really in your corner anyway. What you'll gain is something much more valuable: control over your own life. Time to work on what matters. Energy to invest in your own growth. The respect of people who understand that accessing valuable people requires effort. This is the path of the man who refuses to let his life be dictated by other people's poor planning. This is the path of the man who understands that his time is his kingdom, and he is the only one who decides who gets to enter. The world will always try to take your time. The question is, will you let it?